What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Cinco Symposium. Today, continuing talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. The defense has rested its case. Seems like deliberations are gonna start Monday, but just looking back at the case and going over everything that's happened, you see an incredible bias coming from many of the mainstream media, many famous people, and you just see how much is against this kid, even when it comes to charitable donations for Kyle's defense fund. It was shut down by GoFundMe. Anything that was brought up on it, Facebook was shut down. The establishment doesn't. I mean, first of all, they don't like people in general. They want to control the people, and anything that has to do with the Second Amendment or people being able to defend themselves, and anyone running around and stopping criminals apparently or killing serial pedophiles, I guess that's a bad thing now. But one thing I found interesting was I found the story from the NPR, who it writes about Gage Grosskreutz, that was the man that Kyle shot in the bicep, and it goes over his testimony. It goes over all of his testimony, but yet it continues to say that he had his hands up. It mentions he has a pistol in his hand, but his hands were up. But it somehow misses the biggest point of Gage's testimony, in which he said Kyle did not shoot until he pointed the gun at Kyle. Lest we forget, I've got the video ready for us just so we can all be reminded, and even starting off with the picture, as you can see, this is the part where he explodes his bicep. But you notice the gun right here. It's a little grainy, but you can see the gun. You can see how he's holding it. You can generally see that barrel of gun. And I mean, maybe it's aimed, you could say, a little off, it just barely side, but in the general direction. And in that moment that someone's pointing a gun at you and that you've already been hit in the head and you've been knocked to the ground and you've been chased, when a gun is coming anywhere near you, after a man that's in the process of attempting to take your gun and is in part of the mob that's attacking you, when that gun is anywhere, that barrel's pointed anywhere in your vicinity, you should probably shoot that person. You should probably not take any chances. But that gun is literally pointed at Kyle. And if you don't believe me, listen to the man that was holding the gun
Never fired, right?
himself.
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
Admits it himself, but yet NPR, yet every major media, most of them that put these stories out, they don't like to mention that. They don't want to tell you the actual truth of what is happening. They want to frame things, they want to twist things for you to see their narrative. And if anyone's been watching, I'm sure it's been the news that Kyle got up there and sobbed. And you know, yes, I can't lie, Kyle made it ugly. He has ugly cry face. But you know, he's an 18-year-old kid. He's a young man. I'm not gonna call him a kid anymore. He's 18-year-old young man, and he killed some people. You know, that hits the soul. I'm not gonna fault him for crying. I would say it'd been better if he didn't. But now, because he's crying, and I mean it's also something funny, because usually the people on the left want to talk about masculinity, and usually that's what people kind of wrap up with masculinity, that you don't cry, that you hold your feelings inside, that you be tough, right? But here we have a guy crying, and then they want to crap all over him. And I mean, for example, you have LeBron James, Mr. Big Bad NBA All-Star, and what tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty crappy to me to be some rich superstar athlete and you're ripping on a kid that's in a bad situation, whether you like him or not, whether you agree with what he did or not. You know, I don't think you can deny it's a traumatic situation for him, and not many people have had to deal with the prospect of killing. And then even though they want to call him a murderer, they want to call, you know, he was just bloodthirsty. Nowhere do I pick that up. Nowhere. I don't think, if anyone sane is watching, they they don't believe that either. I don't think he's not a bloodthirsty maniac. He was out there, and I also don't get the argument when people say he shouldn't have been out there. My question is, why not? Why shouldn't he have been out there? There was rioters, there was looters, there was people tearing up the place, there was setting things on fire. And if in your community the police and your government officials and using the police aren't defending your community, why do you not get to be out there? I don't get that. I don't get that argument. I don't understand. Well, he's 17. Yeah, the United States military allows 17-year-olds to enter to operate fully automatic weapons, to operate high explosives, to go into combat zones and kill people. We allow 17-year-olds to do that. I don't know why the idea that this young man can't go out into his community and try to stop people from destroying property. I don't get why, people are up in arms that he shouldn't have been there. I don't understand that argument, but I digress. Here's another article written by Isaac Bailey, professor of public policy at Davidson College. Goes on ripping into Kyle, ripping into the fact that he was sobbing, that it's already won because he pulled that stunt. You have Merriam-Webster, which we already know is what used to be the bastion of knowledge of all the words that you could go there. As we've seen, they've changed definitions to fit a woke narrative. They're no longer trustworthy, and especially they've gone incredibly political when they are being involved in this court case and making fun of Kyle, saying the term crocodile tears, a superficial display of anguish, comes from a media who believe that crocodiles shed tears of sadness when killing their prey. So obviously, coming out right after Kyle breaks down on the stand, it's an obvious slight to him and this whole situation. And now, along with the Kyle Rittenhouse, you have threats of protest. You had people out there trying to take pictures of the jurors. I can only assume to try to make threats to dox. And then you have things on Twitter such as this from II Captain. Oh, by the way, communist symbol, the hammer and sickle. I'm willing to contribute to the bail fund of whoever pulls a Jack Ruby on Rittenhouse once he's acquitted and exits the courthouse. And just in case you don't understand what they're saying there, Andy No points out for us, Jack Ruby is the man who shot dead Lee Harvey Oswald on national television in 1963. So this person's literally saying, I'll pay for the bail fund of anyone that goes and assassinates Kyle Rittenhouse as soon as he leaves. We are living in an absolute dangerous time, and especially when we're supposed to be united as an American people and united with the ideas, especially when it comes to the justice system, that you are innocent until proven guilty. And in our judicial system and the way that we have everything set up, you are innocent until proven guilty, and it is up to the jury to decide if you are innocent or not. Meanwhile, we have mainstream media. Meanwhile, we have the most famous people in the world, especially our country, and the most powerful, influential people getting involved in this, throwing things out there. And is it really a surprise when you have this much of a divide and this many people saying terrible, awful things, and in the establishment media trying to twist and frame everything and omitting key parts of testimony? It's astounding, and I don't know how we are ever going to. I don't think we're ever going to connect foundationally as a country ever again. I think we're in a hard split. You either support the kid that's out there cleaning up his community, trying to protect his community, do good, put out fires, provide medical equipment, and he gets attacked, and you either defend him and his ability to defend himself, or you defend the serial pedophile that's chasing him down the street and make him the hero. You're in one of those two categories. I would urge you to pick the one for a kid defending himself from a pedophile. I would hope that that's the one you would go into. But if not, there's a lot of y'all out there that don't agree with me. So, whatever. That's the video for today. Yeah, if y'all like, please like, subscribe, share the video. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I'll see y'all later.